Om Agyana Trimandasha Ganangana Salakaya Chaksu Sumritan Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishta Stapita Yena Bhutale Sayarupa Kadama Yantadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Siuta Padakamalan Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Sirupam Sakajatan Sahakana Lagunata Vitantan Sajivan Sadvetan Sabadutan Parijana Saita Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devan Sri Radha Krishna Padasahakana Lalita Sri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantu Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Goranga Radha Brindavan Ishvar Vishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Vanchakapa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavana Vebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Primadpadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratu Se Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Ananda Lila Maya Bigaraja Imabada Vichavi Sundaraja Tasma Maha Premarsa Padaya Chitana Chandra Nama Namaste Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Vitale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayane Nebisi Sasrinavati Pashta Dishtarini. So I thank everyone for being here this morning. Today we are going to be discussing the Hera Panchami. It's a very special day, special occasion, festival. And this was relished by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. But first, today is the disappearance of Bhakeshwara Pundit. So today is the disappearance of Shilla Bhakeshwara Pundit. Shilla Bhakeshwara Pundit was one of the great associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was said to be the incarnation of Pradyumna. And he was also the fifth branch of Sri Chaitanya tree. So this was described by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So Srila Bhakeshwara Pandit, he was originally from Navadvip. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moved to Jagannath Puri, so he also went to Jagannath Puri to be with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was said to be the guru of Gopa Guru Goswami, whose disciple was Dhyanachandra Goswami. Actually, if you read the Jaiva Dhamma of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a major section of that is based on the teachings of Gopa Guru Goswami, who was a disciple of Bhakeshwara Pandit. So Bhakeshwara Pandit, he was known as a great dancer. When Mahaprabhu will sing, and he would dance. So there was one conversation. This is recorded in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 10, text 17 to 20. Bhakeshwara Pandi Prabhasa Bharapriya Pritya Ekambhave Chabisa Prahara Yara Nitya Apanima Prabhu Gaya Yara Nitya Kale Prabhura Charanandari Bhakeshwara Bole Dasa Sahasa Gandhavaya Murideha Chandra Mukha Taragaya Muni Vachanta Bimura Sukha Prabhu Kahe Tumi Mura Paksheka Sakaha Akase Uditama Yadi Paravapaka. This is chapter 10, text 17 to 20. Adilila. Bhakeshwara Pandit, the fifth branch of the tree, was a very dear servant of Lord Chaitanya. He could dance with constant ecstasy for 72 hours. Just imagine, you can dance non-stop for 72 hours. That's like, how many days is that? 3 days? Sri Chaitanya Prabhu personally sang why Bhakeshwara Pandit danced. And thus, Bhakeshwara Pandit fell at the lotus feet of the Lord and spoke as follows. Oh, Chandramukha, please give me 10,000 Gandharvas. Let them sing as I dance, and then I will be greatly happy. So Lord Chaitanya replied, I have only one wing like you, but if I add another, certainly I will fly in the sky. So Gandharvas, they are very exceptional. They are known for their dancing. They are special angels or demigods whose abode is in the higher planet, in the sky. So Bhakeshwara Pandey was asking to be given 10,000 Gandharvas so that they can sing and he will dance ecstatically. And of course, through in the Mahaprabhu's Lila in the Jagannath Puri, so it was prominently featured in those Leelas. So today is his Disappearance Day. So we honor that Disappearance Day. Shilla Bhakeshwara Pandit Ki. So today is the Hare Panchami. Hare Panchami is the fifth day after Rath Yatra. Today is the fifth, so Hare Panchami. Rath Yatra was the first, so today is the fifth day. And today, Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, he wanted to relish a very special pastime, especially Lord Krishna's Brindavan pastimes. So Sri Chaitanya Prabhu wanted very much to relish this. And of course, Rath Yatra is Krishna going back to Brindavan. So Krishna is going back to Brindavan, but he was being pulled to come to Brindavan. Kurukshetra is where all the gopis, where they met Krishna after a very long time. They met Krishna after a very long time, I would say around about 60 years or more. And then they pulled Krishna, taking Krishna to Brindavan. Now, just as Purushottam Raj was expressing yesterday, that we have three Krishnas. Nandanandana Krishna, then Vasudev Krishna. Vasudev Krishna is in Mathura, and Brindavan, the Dwakadish Krishna, that's in Dwaka. So we have three separate Krishnas. Now, according to Mahaprabhu, Krishna of Brindavan never leaves Brindavan. It's always in Brindavan. So which means when we're talking of Krishna being Mathura or being in Dwaka, it's a different Krishna, not the same. Now, this presents a very important question. If we say this is different Krishna, how come there's a narration of Krishna leaving Vrindavan? Akrura came to Vrindavan and took out Krishna out of Vrindavan. And then all the residents of Vrindavan, they all, lamenting that Krishna has been taken away out of Vrindavan. And of course, Krishna did promise that, yes, I will come back. So now, Krishna went to Vrindavan, Mathura, then Dwaka, and he got married to so many, many wives. And then he sent Uddhava, and Krishna knew that the Brajabasi, they were feeling so much separation from him. So he sent Uddhava to go to Vrindavan and give consolation to the Brajabasis. Promising them that, yes, I'm returning, that as soon as I finish my business, I am coming back to Brindavan. But here, Mahaprabhu is actually giving an order to Rupa Goswami. I'm going to get to that in a short while. That in your writing, do not take Krishna out of Brindavan. So how do we reconcile this? How do we deal with this? That Krishna never lived Vrindavan as it's been written, but at the same time we read that yes, Krishna did live Vrindavan. So these questions which the acharyas, which they reconcile in their writings. Now, when Mahaprabhu was in the Rath Yatra, when he was in the Rath Yatra, he will always reciting one particular sloka, which was composed by Shilla Madhavendra Puri. And this sloka is Ayedi Nandayedra Natate Mathura Nata Kadavalukyase Hridayam Tva Aloka Kataram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham. This is the expression by which my Prabhu was saying, "Oh my Lord." You will find this in the Madhya Lila chapter 4, text 197. "Oh my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved one, what shall I do now?" King Karomyaham, what shall I do now? There's a purport by Srila Prabhupada. It's kind of a long purport. So this verse, Mahaprabhu will again and again recite this sloka. Of course, this sloka was a little bit difficult for most devotees to understand, that how Mahaprabhu will recite this sloka again and again. That yes, Krishna is not in Vrindavan, and this is very perplexing. So now, and Chaitanya Prabhu did order Rupa Goswami not to write that Krishna left Brindavan. Don't take Krishna out of Brindavan, because Yadu Kumar is a different Krishna. Krishna is called Yadu Kumar. Now, in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, Srila Jiva Goswami, he had written, if I can get it here, let's see. My system is a little bit slow. Okay. Anyway, Srila Rupa Goswami, he had written to the effect that the Krishna who is outside Vrindavan is Yadu Kumar. He never left Vrindavan. The Brajanandana Krishna or Nandanandan Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. The one who's outside of Vrindavan is Yadu Kumar, the son of the Yadu, which means the son of Vasudev. So, and this is the order which Mahaprabhu gave to Rupa Goswami. So, when Rupa Goswami, when he was going to Jagannath Puri to meet, to be with Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, so when he was, before reaching, he was in a village, I forgot the name of the village. But in that village, at night, Satyabrahma, he appeared to Rupa Goswami in the dream. He said, write a separate drama about me. Because what happened was that the Rupa Goswami, he was composing a drama called Vidagdha Madhava. And this drama basically, it's all about Krishna's pastimes. It's dealing with the gopis, very various pastimes with the gopis. But Satyabrahma, and in that, the intention of Rupa Goswami was to combine both Brindavan pastimes and Mathura and Dwarka pastimes in this drama. But Satyabrahma appeared before him and told him that you should write a separate drama about me. Write a separate drama. So Rupa Goswami, he got this as an indication that yes, because Mahaprabhu had given the order that Krishna never leaves Brindavan. And this is Satyabrahma saying that you have to write a separate drama about me. So therefore Rupa Goswami he wrote two dramas. One is Lalita Madhava and the other one is Vidagdha Madhava. So he wrote two separate dramas. Both of them, they are very, very wonderful dramas. So after Srila Rupa Goswami reached Brindavan, and then Mahaprabhu, of course, was very, very happy. Mahaprabhu encouraged all the devotees that they should give their blessing to Rupa Goswami so that he can write about Krishna. And also to reveal the places of pilgrimage where Lord Krishna enacted all these various pastimes. So one time, when Mahaprabhu had visited the place where Haridas Thakur and Rupa Goswami were staying. So now at that time, Mahaprabhu, he had gone to the sea to take bath with the indication that he will come back. So Rupa Goswami, he had composed two prayers. I have it is it on the board? In Antalila 178. So the one is said, Yao Komara Hara Saiba Ibaras Taiba Chaitra Te Kamilita Malati Surabhya Proda Kadambani Laha Sa Chaivashmi Tatapi Tatsa Surasa Vyaparalita Bido Reba Rodasi Bitasi Taruta Lincheta Samutkantate. That very personality, this is Srimati Radharani speaking. And this conversation, it's in Kurukshetra. That very personality who stole my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the river under the Vetasi tree. That is my desire. And then the second verse. Priya soyam Krishna sahachari kurukshetra militas tataham saradatadaham vibayo sangamam sukam tatapi hanta kelam madura murali panchama juse mano me kalindi polina vipi naya spriyayati. My dear friend, now I have met my very old and dear friend, Krishna, on this field of Kurukshetra. I am the same Radharani, and now we are meeting together. It is very pleasant, but I would still like to go to the bank of the Yamuna beneath the trees of the forest there. I wish to hear the vibration of his sweet flute playing the fifth note within that forest of Brindavan. So this is the meaning of Rath Yatra, that because Krishna is there in Kurukshetra and the gopis are there, because that time everyone had come from various parts of India, from Dwarka, from Brindavan. They all gone to Kurukshetra. And Krishna was there also along with all his wives, 16,108 of them. And then here the gopis have also come to Kurukshetra. So, and of course, seeing Krishna, Radharani and all the gopis, they're all very, very joyful that yes, here's the same Krishna. That we are the same, because after all, even though at the time of Kurukshetra, it was many, many years, long time. But the body still remained the same, because Krishna is Nava-yovanam. His body is always youthful. Krishna never ages more than 16 years old. It's never Yovan, Kishori. So is Srimati Radharani. She's also ever youthful. Srimati Radharani and all our gopi friends, they are the same of the same age. So Srimati Radharani is saying, I'm the same Radharani, and he's the same Krishna. You know, even though it's a nice atmosphere here in Kurukshetra, but it's not the same. It's not the same as Brindavan. Brindavan, it's very beautiful. Yamuna river is flowing. You know, nighttime I can hear Krishna's flute, because nighttime when Krishna plays his flute, all the gopis, no matter what they were doing, they will abandon everything and go to run to the forest and meet with Krishna. And this is Nitya Lila, this is daily activities. But Srimati Radharani, she's saying this is not a good atmosphere, this Kurukshetra. This is not the right place. So I wish that we go back to Brindavan and relish our old activities. So this is the this is hardly Rath Yatra, because Rath Yatra, because starting from Srimad going all the way to Sundarchala. So Srimad basically represents Kurukshetra, and whereby the devotees they are pulling the Lord Jagannath. Jagannath is Krishna himself. So they are pulling the Lord to Sundarchala. Sundarchala is Brindavan. Sundarchala is a replica of Gundicha. This is same as Sundarchala, right? Huh? Same, okay. Sundarchala is Gundicha Mandi. So it is a replica of Brindavan. It's a replica of Brindavan. So this is the pulling they're taking Krishna to Brindavan. So now, Krishna had gone to Brindavan now. He had gone to Gundicha Mandi. And every day, Mahaprabhu will go to Gundicha temple. He will go there and along with his associate, Mahaprabhu will dance before Lord Jagannath in the Gundicha temple. So now the day of Hera Panchami arrives. So Hera Panchami is the 5th day of Rath Yatra. So because initially when Jagannath was leaving the temple, he took permission from Lakshmi Devi, because Lakshmi is his wife. He took permission from her that I need to go visit. I'm going on a trip for a few days, for some time. So therefore, give him the permission. So anyway, but after a few days of going, Lakshmi Devi, she became very annoyed. She became very restless that how come my husband has been gone like this? So she became very restless. She became actually angry. And then she and all her associates, they went and arrested all the servants of Jagannath. They went to arrest all the servants of Jagannath and they bind them. They put handcuffs on them, forcing them to bow at the feet of Lakshmi Devi. So these pastimes was very much relishable by Sri Chaitanya Prabhu. And now Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, he want to hear something very, very sweet about Brindavan pastimes. So in the Madhya Lila chapter 14, this is where this pastime is recounted. Chapter 14, starting from text number 117. So I'm going to be going through this. Yadyapi Jagannatha Korina Dwakarya Vihara Sahaja Prakata Kori Parama Udara Tatapi Vatsara Made Hoya Ekabara Brindavana Dekite Tara Utkanta Para. Although Lord Jagannath enjoys his pastimes at Dwakadam and naturally manifests sublime liberality there, still once a year he becomes unlimitedly eager to see Brindavan. So the Lord becomes very eager to see Brindavan. Brindavana samaye upavanagan tahade kibare utkanta hoya. Pointing out the neighboring gardens, Sri Chaitanya Prabhu said, all these gardens exactly resemble Brindavan. Therefore, Lord Jagannath is very eager to see them again. Because the Brindavan is the most natural. And it's a natural place for relishing the prem that is there between Krishna and his devotees. Because when Krishna is in Brindavan, he's at home. He's at home in Brindavan. Just like Srila Prabhupada said that Bombay is my office, Mayapur is my place of worship, and Brindavan is my home. So that is the home of Krishna and his devotees. Natural. In home, there is no rules, there is no regulation. No rules or regulation. Everything is just natural when you're at home. Just like a person may be the chief minister or maybe the prime minister, but when he's at home, he's no more the chief minister or the prime minister. He's just, husband or father or friend. There's no rules or anything like that. Whereas if you go to the chief minister office, there's so much protocol. You'll be lucky to even see him. But when he's at home, it's just by himself. The child, the grandchild, they can come and climb on his back. He's at home. So similarly, also in Brindavan, Krishna is not God. Because when we talk of God, we're talking of the worshipable, the Supreme Brahman. So much arti you have to perform. So much prayer you have to chant. But Brindavan is not like that. Brindavan, there's no, the loving devotee, they don't follow all these regulations. Because Brindavan, the Brijavasi, they consider Krishna, they see Krishna only as their loving relationships. They see Krishna only as their loving relationships. When one time, actually when Uddhava, when he went to Brindavan, that time all the Brijavasi, they had been feeling so much separation. They were lamenting, oh, where is Krishna, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? And then Uddhava went to Nanda Maharaj's house. And Uddhava is a great, is a great Gyani. Is the disciple of Brihaspati. Very highly learned. So Uddhava, he went to the house of Nanda Maharaj and he tried to preach to Nanda Maharaj. He tried to preach using his knowledge. Then like, oh, my dear Nanda Maharaj, do not lament for Krishna. Krishna is Bhagavan. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is there for everyone. You don't have to lament for Krishna. So as Uddhava was speaking, Nanda Maharaj cut him short. He said, Uddhava, what are you saying? You have no intelligence. You're just talking, speaking some big knowledge. You have no intelligence. Krishna is my son. Krishna is my son. I know this very well. Sometimes Krishna will be afraid of some boogeyman, and you come and run and sit on my lap. So how can you say that Krishna is God? No, Krishna is my son. And then Nanda Maharaj will be describing all the various Krishna Lila, and they will be crying, like this. So in Brindavan, Krishna is at home. There's no conception of Bhagavan. Even though, just like in the later narration of this Hera Panchami, this discussion, when Sarup Damodara, when he was describing the Brindavan, the devotees, the loving affairs there, and one time, what's his name? Srivas Thakur, he was saying that, and Brindavan is just, some leaves, some flowers, some straw. What is in Brindavan? Whereas my goddess, my Lakshmi, Shilla, is full of big opulences and jewelries and all that. And of course, my Prabhu laughed. He said that, my dear Srivas, the influence of Nada Muni is on you, because Srivas is incarnation of Nada Muni. Because Brindavan, what is Brindavan? Lord Brahma said, Sriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusa Kapatarobo Dumya bhume chintamayi ganamayi toya mamitam. Katangana natangamana mapi bansi priyasarki. Chidana da jyoti paramapi basha mapi. It's 8 lines. This is just the 4th line. So, it's described in Brindavan that it's a place which actually there are so many unlimited Lakshmis there. Sri. Unlimited Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, there in Brindavan. And Brindavan is a place whereby the ground, it's covered with gems, diamonds. The ground is covered with gems, diamonds, and all that. And the trees there, Kalpaviksha, desire trees. Any trees in Vrindavan, whatever you want, you will get. They are Kalpaviksha trees. And Vrindavan, when people talk, it's like singing. So just the mere talking is like singing. And when they walk, it's like dancing. So Shilla Jiva Goswami was expressing in his Gopal Champu that if in Brindavan the act of talking is just like singing, how much more it's going to be if people actually sing? Just imagine. If people actually sing, how much more it's going to be? Or we said that by walking is considered to be dancing. He said, how much more it's going to be if people actually dance? Just imagine. So, but Brindavan is unmanifest, especially to the conditioned souls. They cannot see Brindavan. You can go to Brindavan, what you see chores, thieves, so many things, monkeys and pigs. So conditioned souls cannot see Brindavan. Only pure devotees can see Brindavan, can experience Brindavan. Pure devotees, the prem bhaktas. It was described at one time, the King Akbar, he went to Brindavan, and King Akbar he liked to see various sadhus in Brindavan. So he went there, and then he met Sanatana Goswami on the bank of Yamuna. So Sanatana Goswami, he does his bhajan on the bank of Yamuna, and King Akbar went and asked him what service he can render to him. He said, Babaji Maharaj, what service I can render? But Sanatana Goswami did not pay him any attention. He simply took some mud from the bank of Yamuna and placed this mud on the hand of the king. But when the king opened his eye, he was very surprised because even though Sanatana Goswami had put some mud there, but that mud turns to be the most valuable gems. And the king said, wow, I don't even have this in my treasury, this kind of gems. So the pure devotees, they see Brindavan, their eye is different. They see Brindavan is a land of gems. So which means all the opulence of Vaikuntha, it's there in Brindavan, but it's covered, it's because there's prem. It's covered by the prem, which is there between Krishna and the devotees. So therefore, Krishna is at home. When he's in Vrindavan, other places now. He's at home when he's in Vrindavan. So as they say, Vrindavanam parityagya padam ekana gacchati. Now project that Krishna never takes his steps outside Vrindavan. He never takes a step. He's always there in Vrindavan. So when we talk of Krishna of Mathura, of Krishna of Dwarka, it's a different Krishna. But when Krishna comes, just like originally Krishna took birth in Vrindavan originally, but when Vasudeva Krishna came from Mathura and came to Vrindavan, that Vasudeva Krishna merged into the original Krishna. And Krishna lived Vrindavan when he was being taken by Akrura. It's that Vasudeva Krishna who was originally within, within the body of Krishna. It's that Vasudeva Krishna who went out of Brindavan and go to Mathura, Dwarka, and perform many other leelas. But the original Krishna is not there. So therefore, Krishna became apricot to the eyes when that's leela of leaving Brindavan for Mathura. So Mahaprabhu is asking a question here. Nana Puspa Diane Tata Kili Ratridine Lachminde Bune Sangai Loyaki Korone. The Lord enjoyed his pastimes day and night in various flower gardens there. But he did not take Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, with him. So the Lord did not take Lakshmi Devi with him to Vrindavan. In this case, when the Lord went to Sundarachala Guntacha, he did not take Lakshmi Devi with him. So Mahaprabhu wanted to find out the reason. Sarukahe Suna Prabhu Koranaya Brindavane Kidate Lakshmi Ranaya Adhikar. My dear Lord, please hear the reason for this. Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, cannot be admitted in the pastimes of Brindavan. Even though Lakshmi Devi is always there on the chest of the Lord, that's our eternal residence, but still, the pastimes of Brindavan, she cannot be admitted there. There was one time when Lakshmi Devi, she wanted to enter Raslila in Brindavan. So she went outside of Brindavan, she stayed on the outskirts of Brindavan, and she was performing austerity for a long time. For a long time, she was performing austerity so that she can enter Brindavan. So which means it's not easy to just enter Brindavan like that. Like Prabhupada we say that you cannot be a tourist and go to Brindavan. Now every day now, in Brindavan it became like constant influx of people coming to Brindavan every day. Constant influx of people. But when they come, what do? They're taking pictures, taking selfies. Especially in our temple now, this actually kind of annoy me all the time. People come to our temple, Krishna Bharam Mandi, and everyone is simply taking selfie, taking pictures. But in reality, that's not the purpose of coming to Brindavan. Yeah. So Lakshmi Devi cannot enter Brindavan. She was performing so many austerity for a long time. And then, after a long period of time, then Krishna asked her that, why are you performing your austerity? Just to enter Brindavan? She said she wants to be in Rasalila. But Krishna said, no, you cannot. Because there's the simplicity of the gopis. Because one of the main characteristics of devotees is to be simple. Simplicities. Whereas Lakshmi Devi, she's full of so much abhiman of being the queen, the Sri of Narayan, goddess of fortune. So how can she give up this mentality of being the goddess of fortune? Because being a gopi means you may have to roll cow dung. You may have to make the cows roll cow dungs and all that, make parties, make all these things. So how is this possible? So Lakshmi Devi cannot do this. So, and then of course, then she requested the Lord to let her stay on his chest. So the Lord agreed to that. So Lakshmi Devi is always, Srivats, is always eternally on the chest of the Lord. So this is what Swarup Damodara is saying here, that the Lakshmi Devi cannot enter Brindavan. And then he's saying, Brindavana Dilaya Krishnera Sahaja Gopigan Gopigana Bina Krishnera Harite Nariman. In the pastimes of Brindavan, the only assistants are the gopis. But for the gopis, no one can attract the mind of Krishna. So only Krishna is only attracted by the gopis of Brindavan. This is some of the complaints by the Dwaka, the wives of Krishna and Dwaka, that even though they are the most beautiful women in all the creation, both material and spiritual was, the most beautiful, we're talking of Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, all the women, but when Krishna is beside them, sleeping at night, Krishna will always calling out, gopis, Radhe, 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 gopis, gopis, gopis. Will always calling out. Will always calling out, gopi, gopi, Radhe, Radhe. Krishna actually will be lamenting for his bride gopis. Krishna will be lamenting. And Krishna's queen will be wondering that what's wrong with our husband? Aren't we satisfying him enough? We give him anything. Still, he's always calling Radhe, Radhe, Gopi, Gopi, Gopi. What is this? So Narada Muni, when he went to Dwaka, and at first Narada Muni was praising the Krishna's wives, that, oh, you are the most fortunate because you are rendering service to Krishna day and night. And then the wives are saying, no, we are not fortunate. How are we so fortunate? When Krishna is beside us sleeping, he was always calling the gopis of Brindavan. So how can we be so dear to him? If you are so dear to him, why is he calling the names of the gopis all the time? So this pastimes was nicely expressed by Shilla Sanatana Goswami in his Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And this is actually from the basis of Rath Yatra, actually. Because when Krishna was lamenting so much, and come to a point that Krishna fainted, Krishna became unconscious. So they had to find a way to revive Krishna. And then this revival of Krishna is through the enactment of Braj, and then they have to take Krishna to Brindavan. So Narada Muni asked Vishwakarma to prepare a chariot by which they have to take Krishna to Brindavan. So this forms the basis of Rath Yatra, basically. This is the internal aspect, the internal reason why we have the Rath Yatra. Because Krishna is being taken to Brindavan, so that Krishna can again be joyful, can be happy. So it's very beautiful descriptions. Now, I just continue reading this, because our time is very limited also. Prabhu kahe yara chale Krishna gaman, Subhada hara baladev sange duijan. The Lord said, using the calf festival as an excuse, Krishna goes there with Subhadra and Baladev. So the excuse the Lord used to go to Vrindavan is by using the Rath Yatra. That's the excuse that he used. Because the Lord wants to be in Vrindavan, so eager. Gopi sange yata lila hoyu pavane. All the pastimes with the gopis that take place in those gardens are very confidential ecstasies of Lord Krishna. No one knows them. No one knows them. Very confidential pastimes. Ataiba Krishnera Prakaye Naiki Chudosa Tobeke no Lashmin Devi Karaete Roga. Since there is no fault at all in Krishna's pastimes, why does the goddess of fortune become angry? So Krishna going to Brindavan is it's not his fault, because his devotees, loving devotees, they are suffering so much with the separation from him. So, and Krishna himself also is also feeling so much separation from the Brijabasis. The devotees in Vrindavan, they are feeling separation from him, and Krishna is also feeling separation from the Brijabasis. Both goes both way. So, and when Krishna feels intense separation, it becomes Jagana, that form, that's the form, uncompleted form, short arm, the limbs enter their body. This is Krishna's viraha, vigraha, is separation. His feeling of, when it becomes feeling of separation, then this form of Jagana manifests. In the later pastimes, in the Antilila, we read about how Mahaprabhu, in his excess of Mahabhav, most time all his limbs will sometimes shrink into his body, and it become just like tortoise, or sometimes it will become elongated. All the joints become loose. Every body become so long, lead to feelings of Mahabhav. So Mahaprabhu asked this question, that in order to go to Vrindavan, so the Lord used the excuse of Rath Yatra to go there along with his brother Baladev and Subhadra. And of course, Baladev is also always Vrindavan, and Subhadra supposed to be Ekanamsa, who is Krishna's sister, was also in Vrindavan in form of Ekanamsa. Sarukoye primavata itas sababa Kantera anudashale se hoya kruda baba. Saru Damodar replied, it is the nature of a girl afflicted by love to become immediately angry upon finding any neglect on the part of her lover. So, because Lakshmi Devi had become very angry because her husband is not there. Her husband is not in Srimad. So she became angry, and then she came out. And this has been described. She's been described here, how Lakshmi came out. She was on a palanquin, and then as she was there, so her maidservants, who are very attractively dressed, so they came out and then they arrested all the servants of Lord Jagannath. They arrested them, bind their hands, handcuff, bind their hands with the flowers, of course. So this pastime has been going on. There was enactment of the, and then Mahaprabhu and all these associates. So they were laughing at these pastimes. That how come that Lakshmi Devi is behaving this way? So Mahaprabhu was very amused. So Mahaprabhu wanted that Saru Damodara to come to narrate. And so keep on speaking, narrate this. So text 136. Damodara koya che manu rapa karo tijangate kahanai deki sunihar. Saru Damodara said, there is no egoistic pride There is no egoistic pride like this within the three words. At least I have never seen it or heard of it. Because it's kind of normally, the next verse said that when a woman is neglected and disappointed, out of egoistic pride, she gives up ornaments and morosely sits down on the ground, marking lines on it with her nails. So it's been described the hard women who sometimes maybe they feel some kind of anger towards their lover or husband. So they express this in a different ways by removing their garments, their ornaments, and sit in a dirty place just to express their anger towards the beloved. But in this case, Lakshmi Devi, she'd arrested the servant of Jagannath. So Mahaprabhu was very, very much excited to hear about this pastime. So now, in text 139, it said, Ionija sampati saba pakata korea, priyera uparaya sanya sajana. But in the case of the goddess of fortune, I see a different kind of pride. She manifests her own opulences and even goes with her soldiers to attack her husband. So she went there to attack her husband. Very, very interesting. This is like Prabhupada's purport. After seeing the impudence of the goddess of fortune, Sarudamodara Goswami wanted to inform Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the super excellence of the gopis' loving affairs. He therefore said, My Lord, I have never experienced anything like the behavior of the goddess of fortune. We sometimes see a beloved wife becoming proud of her position and then frustrated due to some neglect. She then gives up caring for her appearance, accepts dirty clothes, and morosely sits on the ground and draws line with her nails. We have heard of such egoistic pride in Satyabrahman, the gopis of Brindavan. But what we see in the goddess of fortune here at Jagannath Puri is completely different. She becomes very angry with her husband and attacks him with her great opulence because she controls all the opulence. So anyway, this is the beginning of the description of the Hera Panchami narration, whereby Mahaprabhu was very, very much interested about the uniqueness of the loving affairs of Brindavan and varieties of description were made, the different classifications of different types of gopis. You have those who are considered to be leftists, and you have those who are considered to be rightists or Dakshina, which means those who are always very agreeable to Krishna, even though there may be a situation for them to be angry with Krishna, but they will never express anger with Krishna. Just like the party of Chandrabali, never externally express anger with Krishna. Whereas the leftists, which is the party of Srimati Radharani, there's always anger is always there. So many nice descriptions are always there. So this is there in this chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it's a long description. Yes, we don't have so much time. It's after 9 o'clock. So, I'm glad that you are patiently listening to me even though my speech is never good. So thank you very much. Any question or comment? Like to comment something? Okay. So I guess we have no question. No, very young. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Jai Hare Panchami ki Shilla Prabhupada ki Go Pimanande. Yeah.